Hey.
We're on God's highway.
Don't you know I learned how to drive stick shift on the 405?
Couldn't tell you by me. That's how I know it's God.
Let me introduce myself to you. I may be mixed up, but I can tell you it's true. There are 1,000 different scenes that I've seen as life rolls on by as if in a dream. At each moment in space and time, you need to be able to turn on a dime. There's not a lot of time for you to cogitate. You gotta do something now before it's too late, or it'll pass you by in just a twinkling of the eye. Roundabout then, it's time to mosey off and die. What other conclusions could you possibly derive driving God's chosen freeway? It's the 405.
405, 405, it's God's chosen freeway. 405, 405, 405, it's God's chosen freeway. 405.
My mind was polluted by Kierkegaard when I should have held less regard for stupid theories out of reach and spent more time walking on the beach. Like Rimbaud would have said, de Pacien, you get to where you're going and wonder where you've been. Or like Krang would have said, must save the brain. It's all that you've got, so don't take it in vain. Call me cynical, but that's how I feel. At least I know what is and what isn't real. Times when I thought I would barely survive driving God's chosen freeway, the 405.
405, 405, it's God's chosen freeway. 405, 405, 405, it's God's chosen freeway. 405.
Your mind is your canvas, your life's your art. And since this is the only part we get to play, 'tis a pity, no intimations of immortality. Okay, so it's meaningless and transient, a collage of impressions, ambient vibrations in the auditory canal, irradiations on the retinal wall. Even then there are times when it's way too dilute, especially when you prefer the absolute. She said, will you please stop talking jive here on God's chosen freeway? It's the 405.
405, 405, it's God's chosen freeway. 405, 405, 405, it's God's chosen freeway. 405.
I don't know if I'm disaffected, or maybe it's a case of being disconnected. I know that I ought to be content to look into the mirror as if I meant to transport myself to some exotic land and visit all the castles made of sand. I could pretend just for a few minutes that I really knew about stuff like truth and life and art. Yeah, that'd be good, if just for a start. It's a feeling that's hard to describe on God's chosen freeway, the 405.
405, 405, it's God's chosen freeway. 405, 405, it's God's chosen freeway. 405.
It goes up and down the coast 100 miles or so. Why it's there, well, nobody knows. And when you reach the very end, you just turn yourself around and do it again. This is a process that resonates. Merely coincidence or maybe fate. I never want to stop driving that road, even if at times I got a heavy load. I know it may sound preposterous, but why settle for anything less? She said you should be happy just to be alive here on God's chosen freeway, the 405.
405, 405, it's God's chosen freeway. 405, 405, it's God's chosen freeway. 405, it's God's chosen freeway. 405, 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 405, it's God